My wife went out with a friend who was recently divorced. She invited my wife out to a brewery for a fundraiser, and she had told me that she would be gone from about 4 to 8. She took our youngest to their house to play with her friend's child, who are the same age, and their teenage daughter who was going to watch them. Fast forward to 9-ish, and I haven't heard from her. I know they left the brewery and apparently decided to go bar hopping to find her man. Okay. Not a big deal to me. I'm comfortable with her being a wingman anytime. Around 11, I text her to see how it's going. And again, looking for a man for the friend. I send back the laugh emoji and a thumbs up. Crickets until 1 a.m. She says my son is asleep and she is sleeping there and she's being the designated driver. I doubt that, but my wife is pretty good at pacing herself. At this point, I find it really odd that she wouldn't just wake up our kid and come home at 1 a.m. I get curious and check to see where her car is. It's a newer car, so the app shows the location, and they're at another bar until about 1:30. This is where it gets uncomfortable for me. They leave and go to a random house. Nowhere near her friend's house or anything. I find it a little odd. Her car doesn't leave from that point on. Around 2:30, I decide that I need to do some recon. It's about a 20-minute drive, but away from town. I drive out there, and there's a house and barn and clearly a party going on. I get out and get close enough that I can hear people and music, but not close enough to really see because it was a gravel driveway and I didn't want to make noise. So I sit around for about an hour deciding how I should handle the situation. Do I wait until Sunday and ask her how everything went last night and what time they got in and see if she lies to me? Or do I confront the situation? Around 3:30, I decide I need to just drive up and see what happens. I pull up with my lights off. Nobody notices because of the music. I peek into the barn and there's a camper trailer with no lights on. I go over to the house and see my wife's friend and two guys talking. I peek in the window and nobody else is visible. I walk in the front door and say I'm looking for my wife, and the two guys look surprised, and one guy introduces himself. I was happy it didn't get confrontational. My wife's friend immediately walks out and takes me over to a different camper trailer and walks in and shuts the door, and I quickly hop in there, and my wife is sleeping on the bed. So we go outside, and I'm like, I just had to make sure my wife is safe, but explain that I don't think it's okay that a married person would meet random guys and go to their house. There is some other dialogue, but for the sake of time, I'll spare some of that. But basically, I peace out and just say that I'm mostly upset that they would leave my child unaccompanied all night, and if they wanted to go bar hopping all night, I wouldn't really care. But I don't think married couples should be in a position like this, because they spent the whole night there. Next morning at 7:30 a.m., my wife texts me and says that they're at my wife's friend's house. So she comes home around 2 p.m. on Sunday, and I walk in with my other kids, and she's like, "Are you still mad at me for falling asleep?" I didn't say anything to her,